Can you believe that I have just passed my 5th anniversary of selling on Amazon and posting tips and tricks on this YouTube channel? In that time, I've managed to grow my business from a modest amount of sales that I got in my first week to more than 6 figures a month, all from selling products to customers all around the world on Amazon, which I don't think is too bad for something that I've been building as a side hustle in my spare time. Throughout the last 5 years of selling on Amazon, I have honestly experienced a roller coaster of emotions. Some days I've been feeling on top of the world, and others feeling like I can think of nothing worse than to give Jeff Bezos another penny of my money. But to be fair to old Jeff, despite the tough periods that I've been through, I have grown from being a complete beginner with no experience to being an experienced entrepreneur that runs a business that generates 7 figures a year. So with the highs and the lows that I've experienced selling on Amazon over the past 5 years, I guess the question is, has it been worth it? Well, that is what I want to run through today. I want to give you an unfiltered story that tells of my experience of being an Amazon seller and whether I'd recommend it to others who are just looking at getting started. Before we get into my Amazon review, just let me tell you about Awesome, who are the sponsors of this video. If you haven't heard of them before, they are an Amazon FBA specialist accountancy firm, and they're currently running a special deal just for viewers of this channel. Check the link in the description below. Before discovering what Amazon FBA was back in 2018, I was working for a small investment bank and I was incredibly stressed. People were getting fired left, right, and center, and the culture was incredibly cutthroat. In fact, within just 2 months of me working there, more than 10 of my colleagues had been fired, despite the fact that I thought they were pretty good. And that caused me to have a lot of sleepless nights and a load of anxiety. So I decided to look for ways to make money online to give me the protection of another income stream, which I thought would relieve me of much of the stress that was being caused because of work. After researching for weeks on crypto trading, drop shipping, affiliate marketing, and more, I finally came across Amazon FBA, and I loved the business model immediately and knew that this was the right opportunity for me. Fast forward to 5 years later, and without a doubt, my life has completely changed because of what I've experienced, some of which has been good and just some plain awful. One of the greatest things that I've experienced with Amazon FBA is what it's like to run my own business and be my own boss. Even when I was young, I always felt like a bit of an entrepreneur and someone that would do well having my own business. But despite feeling like that, I just never had the confidence or the right idea of what business I wanted to do after I graduated. So instead, I applied for some jobs when I finished uni and got a career in finance and banking. But when I came across Amazon FBA, I really saw the opportunity to fulfill my dream of being my own boss, because it seemed like it was a business model that took the difficulty and the uncertainty right out of starting a business from scratch. And 5 years later, my opinion on that hasn't changed. It is completely true, and it's probably one of the most attractive parts of this business model. Even if you are a complete beginner with no experience, Amazon FBA makes it possible to create a business that is capable of making you upwards of 7 figures. There's no daunting tasks such as the need for you to invent a product or for you to rent out premises, hire staff, or anything else in order to make big sums. And that for me is a really appealing feature. Essentially, all you need to do to make money with Amazon FBA is to look at what products already sell well on Amazon, think of ways that you can make improvements to the existing offer, and then place an order with the supplier and get them manufactured. Once you've sold that piece of the puzzle, scaling your business to ridiculous levels is like a walk in the park. You can launch more products under your existing brand, which is exactly what I did, and you can expand to other continents that Amazon operates in, all at the click of a button. And eventually, once your business reaches a certain size, you can look to sell it to an investor for millions, just like many others have done in the past. What made Amazon FBA incredibly appealing to me though when I first got started, and what's actually still true today, is that it has limited barriers to getting started from an investment standpoint. Because unlike a retail store where you need to incur significant expenses before you can sell a thing, such as renting a warehouse, a shop, hiring staff, and so on, with Amazon FBA, you can start making money after just investing a couple of thousand into stock and nothing else. That is literally all that's needed to invest when it comes to your major expenses. Over the past 5 years, I found that running my Amazon FBA business, it's allowed me to develop a skill set that I've been able to use outside of Amazon. I've learned how to negotiate with suppliers, import products, hire assistants, calculate profits, and honestly, so much more. All skills and qualities that I just never would have been able to develop had I not gone down the path of creating my own business. There are just so many skills that you'll develop as an Amazon FBA seller, and as a result of your experiences, your self-confidence is going to grow, and you'll realize that no business idea that you have now or in the future is off limits. My whole experience of selling on Amazon has made me so much more confident in life and in business. Before I made any money from selling on Amazon, I was always a little bit cautious about online businesses and how much you could really earn. Now, I wouldn't say that I thought it was a scam, but I definitely didn't think it was as accessible as it really is. But as soon as I made that first sale and when that first bank deposit was made into my bank account by Amazon, my outlook on this magic internet money, that completely changed. And because of that shift, I've since gone on to create 6 more online income streams that together generate me 6 figures of profit. And those income streams, they would never have been developed had I not taken those first steps of creating my Amazon FBA business. So cheers, Jeff. Although the past 5 years of selling on Amazon has largely been positive, of course, there have been a lot of setbacks and challenges, some of which you will come across too if you're looking to become an Amazon FBA seller. One of the biggest challenges that I faced when I first got started, and undoubtedly you will too, is finding the right product to sell. When I first started product research, I didn't realize just how boring, long-winded, and difficult it really was. Every time I found something that I thought was worth selling, there'd always be a reason that I'd eventually think of, which made me not able to make any progress whatsoever. Finding a product to sell on Amazon, it is difficult, and it really tests how much you want to succeed in this business. But if you can get it into your head that this isn't a get-rich-quick scheme, and all successful businesses take time and effort to build, then honestly, you are much more likely to reach the point of selling. But with that said, just know it is a challenge. Just make sure that you do lots of practicing, because it really does help at training your mind to be able to spot the different opportunities out there. Once I'd done enough practice and once I'd gone through the process of finding and launching a product that I then saw was popular and made a profit, my confidence increased and I realized what the key factors were that make a successful product. And because of that, I since got a lot better with spotting product ideas, and the whole process of product research became much, much easier. And that is pretty much how all of my students that have started selling have felt too. Another frustrating part of selling on Amazon is that quite frequently unexpected things occur, and they can sometimes be pretty bad for business and your stress. I've experienced periods where I've had top sellers that all of a sudden have stopped selling. I've had product listings removed by Amazon. I've had product shipments go missing, and I've had customers just send me abuse because they didn't like my product. And whilst each time one of those things has happened, it has caused me a lot of anxiety and stress, I do appreciate that no business out there is completely stress-free. And if you do want to put a positive spin on it, it's when things go really wrong that you do the learning, right? If everything was plain sailing, then it just wouldn't be half as interesting. I suppose. So if you're going to give this Amazon FBA business a go, in exchange for all of the good times that you'll enjoy and all of the profit that you'll be making, you need to understand that you will face challenges. You will face difficulties and, of course, moments of stress, but they are all solvable. One big component of being an Amazon FBA seller is dealing with Amazon's seller support. And their job is to answer questions and make the selling experience stress-free. Supposedly. The reality is, though, that the Amazon seller support team, they're untrained, they're incapable, and often they cause more damage than good. And that is honestly me holding back and being polite. Over the past 5 years, Amazon seller support executives have caused me stress, panic, and pain, caused all because of a lack of training and probably underhiring, which means that they don't read sellers' questions properly before they respond. Examples of that include seller support shutting an account down after someone I know asked them to change their credit card on file, and one event where a seller's listing was removed after they complained about a competitor copying their pictures. Yeah, they're pretty terrible, but with that being said, it does seem as though Amazon has realised this and they're trying their best to improve service levels by doing things like offering a support service via Twitter and a callback feature. Fortunately for me though, after 5 years of experience and being pretty knowledgeable about selling on Amazon, I rarely need to actually contact seller support. And in a worst case scenario, if I do, I try my absolute best to explain the problem as clearly as possible. As future Amazon sellers, if you need help, my advice is first ask in the Facebook groups or refer to courses or mentors in the first instance. Unless, of course, you enjoy dealing with somebody that is so incapable that you might as well be talking to a wall. Generally speaking, my experience of dealing with competitors on Amazon, it's been pretty good over the past 5 years. But there have been some instances where I've been a victim of the darker side of business, with competitors doing things like attacking my Amazon account with 1-star reviews, listings being copied, and fake patent claims, which wasn't a good experience to go through. Unfortunately, in business and in life, you do just get complete toads that will do whatever possible to gain an upper hand. So you always need to be on your guard. With that said, these days, Amazon is a lot better in detecting nasty sellers and then getting rid of them before they do much damage. So recently, I haven't actually encountered that much trouble. Touch wood. So have I enjoyed selling on Amazon over the past 5 years, and would I recommend it to others? Well, the answer is yes and no. The entire experience, it's allowed me to develop as an entrepreneur, and it's allowed me to do so many amazing things, such as build out my business skill set, increase my confidence, meet new people, and of course, make lots of money. Above all though, it has helped me to have a much better quality of life, given that I now have much less anxiety and stress than before I started selling. But as I've mentioned in this review, it has been a challenge, and some of those challenges, they might be too much for some. I have always been somebody incredibly motivated and interested in making as much money as possible. And because of that, I'm very persistent, and often I refuse to give up on a problem, no matter how difficult it is. And that might not be an approach that is suitable for everybody. Selling on Amazon, it is hard, and it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It involves a lot of persistence, and it involves a lot of patience, which if you're not truly money motivated and entrepreneurial, you may not be willing to put up with. If you're kind of on the fence about whether you think Amazon FBA is something that you'd enjoy in the long run, my advice is before diving in and doing your product research, watch more YouTube videos, check out my free training linked below, and then reassess the situation. Sleep on it, and then if you still want to do it, go ahead. But if you are the kind of person that likes to be challenged, you enjoy building things, and of course you love making money, then yes, I would 100% recommend Amazon FBA for you, and you should get started right away. I hope that my story and my 5-year review of selling on Amazon has been helpful. If you have any questions about the process that I've been through, let me know in the comments. And if you want to learn more about Amazon FBA, check out my training, which is linked below. See you guys next time.